everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's look is going to be a tutorial on this look inspired by the song Emergence by Sleep Token. If you want more information on this series, it is in the video that I will link down below for the first look, Look to Windward. I hope you enjoy this look. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's look, we are going to be doing the second song inspired by music in my series of makeup looks that have been inspired by something. I started off this series with August by Taylor Swift, and then I did Look to Windward by Sleep Token, and this is for the song Emergence. This is actually my second idea of this look. I am going to do the draft that got cut in a later video, but this is the song that the colors that inspired me by the song Emergence. I really wanted to play off that metallic gold vinyl that they released. I'll insert a picture. As well as his cloak and armor and the gold in his mask is where I drew inspiration for this song, as well as kind of like a winged look, nothing on the bottom, just black liner. Very top heavy makeup because it's time to emerge, and I wanted to do something a little bit dramatic, which if I could do this look again, I would probably cut my crease. I forgot to, but the idea was that I was going to cut my crease and use the glitter where the crease would go. But either way, I love how this look turned out. I ended up going back in with my second idea of shadows just because the Super Shocks were not as pigmented as I hoped. So for this look, I ended up using Norvina 2, Blend Bunny Beauty Below, Norvina 2, and Jeffree Star Gold Blooded. I used the golds in this, as well as 2 Super Shock shadows. So that is what I came up with for the song Emergence. Also, my mirror that I was using actually kind of matches the gold. But if you want to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. We are going to emerge, inspired by Emergence off the Even In Arcadia album by Sleep Token. This is what we're going for today. So if you would like to emerge with me, then keep on watching, because we're going to do a green eye. I am going to use the Beauty Below palette. Particularly, I want to use these greens in here. And I don't know if I want to use this and this, because that's a little too peach and that's a little too like funky green. But in the sketch, I have like a coppery gold and a light gold because it's inspired by his outfit as well as the vinyls. And I was thinking between the golds that I either want to do Gold Blooded from the Jeffree Star Gold Blooded palette and the Influencer in the inner corner. But I don't know if they're going to be as sparkly, glimmery as I want. So the backups I picked out from my Super Shocks, because I always forget I have these, is In Harmony, which is this bright, kind of a little bit of a coppery gold if it focuses. And I also picked out for the inner corner a brand new shade. This is Beauty and the Beast from the Super Shock Disney Princess collection. Just like kind of a champagne-y gold. The other one I picked out was Boutonniere. That's an ultra metallic. And this one is just gorgeous. I don't think this one exists anymore, but those are the options. When I get to the golds, I will do some swatching, but for now, let's jump into it. First, go in and prime with the Decay Primer Potion. So I'm starting off the look by going into a green. I think this is A3 in the Norvina palette. This is the Norvina Volume 2 palette, and I'm going to add that to my crease. I am going to pack the shadow on first before I start blending it because it is a pressed pigment, and I'm really going to take my time to build this up. Then I went into the darkest green in the Beauty Below palette, and I'm really going to take my time packing this and blending it into that other green. And then once I blend the two together, I will go back in and re-intensify them. So in the look, I end up taking the more gold Colourpop Super Shock Shadow and applying that to the middle of my lid. Then I took that lighter color and applied that to the inner third of my lid and blended them together. So this is what it looked like with the Super Shock shadows, and then I went back in with the brush that I used for the dark green and blended that gold into the green. And then to do the liner, I used a liquid eyeshadow from Jeffree Star, put it on a palette, and used a tiny liner brush to draw the line for the liner. And this is when I realized after the fact that I didn't cut my crease. So if I was to redo this look, I would cut the crease before I apply the golds on my lid and apply that liner where the cut crease is. And then I did take my beauty fan just to make sure that those are dried before I open my eyes. And this is what it looks like. And then once I did this, I realized that the gold on my lid was not as shimmery and glimmery as I wanted. So I did go back in with those Jeffree Star shadows and applied them wet on top of their respective shades. And this really amped up the gold in my look. And this is the final finished look for the song Emergence by Sleep Token. I would love to know when you listen to this song, what colors do you feel or hear? Let me know down below in the comments.